Okay, Dave. So that was rude. I called these other guys the other guys. Who's your favorite quarterback in this class that we've not talked about yet, and why?
It's Penix, but keep it in pencil. It's either going to be Penix or Rattler for me.
Okay, and I think that's interesting. And I had a Penix question here, so I'll just ask you, Thor. How does somebody as fast as Michael Penix do as little on the ground?
That's interesting, and it goes to it's sort of an eye of the beholder question. So Kalen DeBoer coached Penix at Indiana, and he's also the reason why Tom Allen got a ludicrous extension from Indiana, but we don't have time to talk about that. But anyway, Penix at Indiana actually ran a lot more. He went to Indiana as a dual threat guy. People that watch college football, they'll remember the epic upset that Indiana had of Penn State, where Penix reached the ball. This is during the COVID season, where he reached the ball over the goal line. You know, he had to run around, and he made a bunch of athletic plays like that. But the issue was he suffered 4 straight season-ending injuries at Indiana, all 4 of his seasons, including 2 ACL tears. Then he goes to Washington, and then, of course, Washington hired, Kalen DeBoer gets hired by Washington. Kalen DeBoer brings Penix to Washington. And then, curiously, Michael Penix never left the pocket again. He becomes a stationary pocket passer. But come to find out, he had not lost any of the athleticism. So you start wondering, it was the same coach. Why did he never leave the pocket again? Here is my theory. I think Kalen DeBoer told Penix, you do not leave that pocket for 2 reasons. The big one being, we cannot afford for you to break again. I think that was the big one. The other one, and this is the dirty little secret about Michael Penix, when he moves his feet whatsoever, the more he moves his feet, the more his accuracy starts to depreciate. I think it was 10% off of his the initial completion percentage, loses drops when his feet are shuffling, and then it's 10% more drops off when he is outright scrambling. So it's like you're both protecting him from getting injured again, and then also you're telling him keep those feet set in the set pocket, because that's where your accuracy plays up.
Okay, Dave. So let's just do it. We'll do the other lazy comparison. Michael Penix, Tua Tagovailoa. Is there any hope that Penix gets to Tua's level? Could he be better?
I think he could be better than Tua. I think he's got a stronger arm than Tua. So right there, to me, that stands out. I think he can also read and process his defenses better than Tua could when he came out of Alabama, and maybe even now. Doesn't need things necessarily spelled out for him like we've seen in Miami. I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah. And they both have injury concerns. Penix with his knees and shoulders, and Tua with his head.